Alright, so I already have my foundation and concealer done, and you can go back to my foundation basics tutorial if you want to see how that's done. And the next step that I do in my daily routine is some contouring. Now, since when I do my foundation, I completely just make my face the same color, some contouring. Now, since when I do my foundation, I completely just make my face the same color. You can't really see any definition. It's just complete plain palette. So in order to actually make your skin look like you don't have a lot of foundation on, you need to build upon your foundation and add some contouring, do some highlight. And so the first thing that I will do for my contouring is, currently I'm in love with MAC. It is Harmoney. It's a matte contouring powder. Pretty dark too in comparison to what my skin is. You just need a little bit of this and it goes a long way. So the first thing I'm going to do is, on the number's worn off on this brush, but it's a MAC brush. It's normally white when it doesn't have any product on it. It's just an angle brush. I'm going to tap a little bit into that contouring powder and turn my head so I can kind of see my cheekbone, and right in the hollow of my cheekbone I'm going to start to add that contouring powder. Now I like to go, so this is my cheekbone, I like to go a little bit below to kind of balance out my jaw versus my cheek. Alright, so I'm going to take a couple taps of that powder and slightly suck in my cheek so I can see a little bit more definition through my cheekbone, and putting my brush with the heel, this is the heel of my brush, closest to my ear, I'm going to lightly start in the middle and sweep going back. I'm going to flip it so the heel is now towards the front and just increase that. So do you see how that's kind of making this look like it's sinking in a little bit more? The first thing I do is I just make a line. So very line, you can see the edges, not very attractive. But we're going to blend that out afterwards. So heel of the brush towards the ear, suck in a little bit, blend that in, turn the brush, and just increase that shadowing. So very liney. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Kabuki brush, and this is the AVEDA Kabuki brush, and this is what I use to blend. So I'm going to circle, and I'm starting the middle of my brush, and I'm putting that on the line essentially. I'm doing some just medium circles, taking it back, so starting at the front here and moving the brush back, and that is blending in the lines and making it not as harsh, but it definitely still shows the nice contouring. Okay, same thing on the other side. Alright, and then the next thing I do, because I like to make my nose look a little bit thinner, is I take the same brush with the product on it and I run this down my nose like so. So a nice straight line. I can also squish my brush together. So, like so. And once you have a line, you want to kind of run it back and forth, blend it in a little bit. And then, just like before, with your Kabuki brush, blend it in. So for the nose part, which I don't really need to do, I just prefer to do it, I'm just taking it and kind of sweeping it down to soften the lines. But it definitely gives me more definition through my nose. Alright. Typically, recently what I've been using is just this e.l.f. It's just a golden bronzer, which this is like the cheapest makeup on the face of the planet. I think it was like $3 at Target or something like that. But you can see how much I've used of it. and I really, really like it. So what I'm going to do is I just want to hit all 4 colors, do some swirling, and sucking my cheeks in again to see the height of my cheekbone. I'm going to, right on top of my cheekbone, sweep on it. Now I do kind of do a little bit of a check mark motion, so I check here, kind of on top of where, if you saw my foundation tutorial where I do like the under eye concealer, I bring this down. Once again, the heel of the brush is towards my ear, and go up. Like so. Okay? So see how that gives it, this sinks in, you have a little bit of color, and then the camera's not picking it up too well, but with this quad, the lighter color, will give you a really nice sheen, so it'll show the peaks of your cheekbone off good. So we're going to do that again. I start on this side. You can see it better on this side. So I start by taking that color on my actual cheekbone, and then I bring in a little bit on the front, do the check, and blend it out. Like so. That's pretty much the basics of my contouring. There are a million different ways that you can do this, and depending on the time of year, trends, I kind of do it differently, but I'd say generally speaking, this is my basic contouring